All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started now that it looks like we've got quite a few people joining. So good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you're located, everyone, and welcome to today's postgraduate information session on accommodation in London for our GCU London campus. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. My name is Abby, and I'll be your host for the next 30 minutes. Before we begin, just a couple of quick housekeeping notes. All microphones and cameras are disabled during the session to ensure a smooth experience for everyone who is attending. If you have any questions at any point, please pop them in the chat box. We'll be answering as many as we can during the Q&A session at the end. I'd also like to let you know that today's session is being recorded. It will be available on GCU's YouTube page in the coming weeks, so you'll be able to watch it back or share it with others. Now, I'm pleased to introduce today's presenters, Tanzid and Arena, who will be speaking about our accommodation services in London and a little bit about student life as well. Now, I'm going to hand it over to Tanzid.
Hi, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So we're going to be starting off with our webinar, and these are the things we're going to be covering. We're going to be covering a student life and support, accommodation in London, life around the campus, and what you do have to do next once you get into the campus and finish your registration. Starting off with student life at GCU London, me and Arena, we are the Student Life Campus Administrators, and we are going to be your first point of contact if you have any queries, need help settling in, or you have to go through the entire journey of your student life. We're going to be your first point of contact for everything. You can find us at the Student Life Desk, which is at room 1.4. And once you come in, we're going to give you a campus tour to know where everything is. So we want our students to get involved with all the activities we have around the campus. As you can see, we do host different activities from time to time. And we have welcome events, social events where you're going to be meeting other students, you're going to be meeting the staff, and you're going to be able to build your network. This is all to make you feel part of the GCU community and make more friends. And as I understand, as an international student, it's going to be hard to connect in a new environment. That's why we host this activities and the sessions so that you get more comfortable and you feel a part of the community. I'm gonna give my colleague Arena to present on the accommodation in London. Arena, would you mind taking over?
Yeah, hello everyone. So when it comes to accommodation in London, the key thing to understand is that it is very, very competitive, especially nowadays. Properties go quickly and demand is really, really high. And it depends on the area. So the closer you are to the central of London, the harder it's going to be to find the accommodation. And that's why we always recommend starting your search as early as possible. But do not get upset, do not get discouraged if the first options didn't work. You'll always be able to find something. It is very, very important to stay flexible, both in terms of your budget and in terms of the location. Sometimes you need to understand that London is very, very big, and sometimes it's easier to search and to look for accommodation slightly further, and it will make the whole process way easier, and the rent might be even cheaper and better. From our side, we're here obviously to support you. We can provide an advice, and we have a brochure with the best locations and areas in London, but we do not directly provide accommodation. This is very, very important to remember. If you need any help or questions, you can always reach out to us at the email accommodation@gculondon.ac.uk. Now we are moving to the process of finding the accommodation. So first of all, it is really, really important to use trusted platforms. The most popular ones are Spare Room, Rightmove, Zoopla, and On the Market. These are reliable and widely used across the United Kingdom. A really useful tip is to set up alerts and check listings daily. So new properties get uploaded all the time, and the best ones go very, very quickly. Because of that, you should try to respond as quickly as possible when you see something suitable. So speed really matters in London. In terms of the process, it usually follows a few simply steps. You start by searching shortlisting properties. Then you contact either a landlord or you contact the agency, and then you arrange the viewing. After everything, you attend the viewing, and if everyone is happy, both sides are happy, you move on to completing the paperwork, and finally, you will be able to move in. Then let's have a look. What do you need in order to rent an accommodation in London? So first of all, it's proof of identity. Usually it's like, your passport. Then if you're a student, you will need a student confirmation letter. In most cases, you will be asked to pay the deposit, and depending on your situation, you may also need a guarantor, or you need to pay some rent in advance. Obviously, it will depend on the conditions of the contract. If we're talking about pricing, shared room in London will cost you from 350 up to 450 pounds. We can't guarantee that this price will include all the bills and Wi-Fi. However, sometimes it does, sometimes it's not. Again, depends on the conditions of the contract. And single room will cost you from 600 pounds to 900 pounds. The price really depends on a few key factors like location, transport link, property condition, and how many people are going to leave the property. If we're going to talk about the location and safety, there are several popular areas where many of our students prefer to live. For example, East London, like Stratford, is an amazing area, one of my favorites. Barking, Ilford. Ilford is very, very affordable. If we're talking about Northeast London, we would recommend areas like Leighton or Walthamstow. And Southeast London is Deptford and Greenwich to consider. Greenwich is an amazing area. There is a big, beautiful park, popular again among the UK students. One important thing to keep in your mind is the commute. According to UKVI requirements, you should be able to travel to campus within 1 hour and 30 minutes. And in terms of safety, there are few key factors that you need to remember. Always view a property before paying for it. Never pay in cash and don't transfer money before signing a contract. Make sure that you check the landlord or an agent is legitimate, and please be cautious if the offer is going to be too good. So if it's if you're going to see that the flat is really beautiful and they do ask really low price, there is definitely something wrong with this with this accommodation. And finally, please keep all the records, because it might be helpful in case you will have some bad situations or if there are any problems that might occur during your rent. That's it. Do you want to?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arina. So we're going to be talking a bit around for the life around the campus. So as you know, our campus is based in East London, and it's like one of the most diverse and multicultural areas. And it is surrounded by different shops, food markets, and different other markets as well. So once you're around the campus, and if you feel hungry and you want to have like a quick snack or even a meal, it's Brick Lane is right beside the campus, and you'll have a lot of options over there. We also have a campus cafe available on campus on the second floor, where you're going to be able to bring your own food, relax, and in between classes meet friends. And we have different events hosting over here, so you're definitely going to be enjoying that part. So some of the nearby areas, as I mentioned, Brick Lane, there's also Spitalfields Market, there's a Petticoat Lane, which has a lot of options for different foods from all around the world. And these are usually very affordable, and you're going to be able to enjoy foods from different places and be able to be close to campus. Moving on to getting around in London. So primarily how everyone travels is by the tube, which is the train network inside London. There's also the bus and the overground trains. And of course, if you're living walking distance from the campus or walking distance from stations, everyone walks to wherever they need to go. One good thing for students is that we have an option for student Oyster card where you do get discounts. And in order to be eligible for the student Oyster card, you of course have to be a student, and you also have to make the application and let us know so that we can approve it, and you'll be getting your Oyster cards by then. There's also a student rail card, and that is used for national rails. So let's say if you're living a bit in the outskirts of London where you require a national rail transport, that's when a student rail card comes in handy. So for both the rail card, and you should make an application for your Oyster card, and for the rail card, you can get it from one of the big stations, and the closest one is the Liverpool Street station, which is like 10 minutes walk from our campus. Moving on to your responsibilities as a student, it's very important that you attend your classes, you have like a good attendance record, and make sure you follow your visa conditions and engage with your course. This is very crucial as we want you to succeed and have the best experience while being on the campus and studying at GCU London. Lastly, we're gonna talk about the things you need to do. So that is before coming in, or even if you're here in the UK right now, you have to prepare your accommodation. You have to plan your journey on how to get to campus, and also attend the induction sessions, which are happening next week. And be sure you all got the timetables by now. And we're going to be doing a face-to-face registration with you guys. And for that, you need to bring the required documents, which we have let you know regarding all the information have been sent to you by email. And it is very crucial that you check both your personal email and your GCU email as regularly as possible, because timetables change. We do provide new information. So it's very important that you check that. And lastly, what we're going to talk about is all the support you need. So if you need to contact any one of us, either me or Arena, you can just come to the student live desk at room 1.4. And you can also email at the two emails mentioned over here, accommodation@gclondon.ac.uk, and the other one is studenthealth@gclondon.ac.uk. And you should know that we are always here to support you and guide you. So whenever you need any help, please make sure you come to us. So that concludes our part of the presentation. So we just want to ask you if you have any questions, and maybe we can help you with the answers.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tanzit and Arena, for your presentation. Everyone that has joined with us, again, as Tanzit said, this is a perfect time to go ahead and pop in questions in the chat that displays on your right-hand side. So please feel free, any questions related to accommodation or, life in London, rate some of our student services that Arena and Tanzit brought up. You're more than welcome to drop those in the chat. All right. I think while we're waiting to see if anyone has some questions for you guys, or maybe, help stir up some questions. A fun one that I have for you guys, and I know, Arena, you in your portion, you went over a little bit of the different areas in London to live, but what are your guys' favorite boroughs to either live in or even, just spend a day in.
Why don't you go ahead and you start and I'll follow along.
Yeah. Well, I do personally prefer central London, obviously, because there are a lot of museums, and London museums are amazing. You can literally spend the whole day in one museum, and most of them are for free. I would say 90% of London museums are for free. Plus, there are a lot of different cafes, beautiful parks. So once you go to central London, I would say it will take you the whole day just to walk, to enjoy the city, especially during sunny, beautiful days. Yeah, I would say Marble Arch, Hyde Park, Knightsbridge, Kensington, Chelsea are my favorite areas to walk because, again, you can feel the whole atmosphere of London over there with these beautiful houses, with museums, with beautiful routes to follow in order to know London better. So I would recommend Central London for sure.
Thanks, Arena. From my side, I would be saying that Central London as well, as we do, like what Arena mentioned, that London does have different parks, and I love going around the parks and walking around there. There is St. James's Park, there is Hyde Park, and those two are like pretty big, and you can just go on a sunny day, walk around and just relax like during your weekends, and we have like a long weekend coming in. That's when you'll see a lot of Londoners are going to be going to the park, enjoying the sun. And Arina also mentioned regarding Greenwich Park in East London, which is really big, and you could just sit by the river on the park and like watch the view. It is like one of the best places to go and just relax.
I would say Regent's Park as well,
Yeah,
because you can then walk to Camden Town and to see completely different London, modern life, and yeah, I do prefer that route as well.
there's a also
Mhm.
like amazing food market as well in
Yeah,
Camden. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's massive as
Yeah,
well. You can spend just an entire day in
yeah.
Camden for the food market because there's so much. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna check to see if we do have any other questions. I don't believe we do. Just a reminder, we do still have a couple more minutes for this webinar. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to drop them. Don't be shy about it. Your question may also help another attendee who's thinking the same thing. So okay, I'm trying to think of another fun one. So we are very centrally located, as we discussed, in London. Do you have a favorite food spot near campus that you like to go to?
Spitalfields Market for sure
Phil's
for
Market.
me. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, yeah,
same
fair
for me
enough.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it covers pretty much everything. You can find whatever you want, from pizzas to Taiwanese food and I don't know, donuts, waffles, matcha, coffee. Literally everything is over there. So
yeah, and
yeah,
it's really nice to go during like lunch hours to see how everyone in London is going out for their own lunchtime. You'll see the London life itself and how everyone has like a different way and different preference. So you'll see how vibrant it is.
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Completely agree on that one.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Well, it looks like we don't have any questions coming through, which may be a good thing because we covered them all in the presentation. Are very thorough. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and begin closing down our session, guys. So again, last minute call for any questions. If I do see anything pop through while closing down, we'll go ahead and stop and answer those. Um, But that does bring us to the end of today's session. I would like to thank Tanzid and Arena once again for their time and expertise on London accommodation and student life, and also extend a big thank you to all of you for attending our session today. Just a reminder that this session will be available on GCU's YouTube page in the next coming weeks, so please keep an eye out if you'd like to go back and rewatch this or share it with someone else. We hope you found today's session helpful, and we look forward to hopefully welcoming many of you to GCU London in the future. Thank you again and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.